Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join me as we discuss a dearly departed upset for the ages. Manchester United 1, Sheffield United 2. You probably don't need me to explain the narrative, but these clubs in utterly opposite directions and opposite positions in the table. Sheffield United, horrible season. Every way they could have managed to lose a game that they probably should have got something from, they have. Manchester United in excellent form, winning and only draws recently against Leicester and Liverpool away. So winning all their games apart from away to fellow top four sides smells like a title challenge to me. They've been up the top of the table. I think they could have gone back there with a win in this one, but no. Bottom side, Sheffield United away. I mean, look, some people think home and away advantages or disadvantages are lessened this year, but we will not take that away from Sheffield United. Doing these dearly departed shows, it's been exasperating talking about the Blades. So let's just enjoy this one on Sheffield United fans' behalf. Whether in the long term it gives hope, I don't know. But in the short term, what a great result by Chris Wilder and his men last night. And look at the team as well. So Ramsdale in goal, Basham at right centre-back, and then Phil Jagielka, who I believe is 38, and Ethan Ampadu. So no John Egan in there, and they've had no Jack O'Connell forever. And then look at left wing-back, Keane Bryan, who I don't know too much about, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he's a midfielder converted to a centre-back. He's certainly not a left wing-back. No Ender Stevens, no Max Lowe. So just totally patched up at the back. Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck, that's been the same for a few weeks. And then McGoldrick and Billy Sharp up top. So Jagielka and Sharp in 2021 starting at Old Trafford in a Premier League game. Unbelievable scenes. Only 6 subs. Chris Wilder said only 3 of them were fit, and those were the ones that got on the pitch. So not just a surprise result, but behind the 8 ball in that regard as well. There's your Manchester United team. Look at that. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Telles, Pogba, Matic, Rashford, Fernandes, Greenwood, Martial. Unbelievable. Okay, in a lot of the big games, you see McTominay and Fred. Maybe Pogba then is further forward and Greenwood comes from the bench. But still, I repeat, Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, still stacked up top, and Sheffield United are going to get the win. Let's just have a look at some of the moments. Here's the opening goal. It's poor from David De Gea for the Manchester United goalkeeper there. You can see Keane Bryan. He's almost stationary. He's not made a run to jump into that position, number 29. It's pretty much a standing jump. It's a good corner by Fleck because you can see he drops it in there on the near post with pace. The problem is that if De Gea just comes, he gets that. But what he does instead, he's got Bryan standing in front, presumably sort of trying to be in the goalkeeper's zone and in his way, which is perfectly fair and legal. And De Gea sort of makes contact with Bryan and then steps back to try and give himself some space. And in the time he's done that, excuse me, the corner is flying in, and that hinders him in the long run. And Bryan heads in the set play for 1-0. Up the other end, a slightly dubious one. This one, let me know in the comments. The ball's gone in. It's then up in the air, and Ramsdale goes up with Maguire. And as you can see there, Maguire makes what looked like fair contact with Ramsdale, and it looks like he's just completely missed the catch. Drops down. You can see just in the bottom left there, Anthony Martial looking up at that. He's going to stick it in the net. But The Blades get away with that one. Maybe they're due a slice of luck. Who knows? Let me know what you think of that call in the comments. This, however, was not lucky. That's Mason Greenwood, who I think Gary Neville's actually said, and I probably agree with him, is the best finisher at Manchester United. It doesn't matter on the angle, on the run. We've seen him just hammer them in. Right foot, left foot, always just seems to laser it into the bottom corner. He's going to score a ton of goals. Greenwood drags that one wide of the post, and you start to think into the second half, is it going to be your day? Well, here's the equaliser. And we did a Newcastle watch along the other night, and Steve Bruce was getting a load of criticism. Let's give him some praise now. This is a proper Steve Bruce goal, this, isn't it? That's Harry Maguire on the run. He's just going to bullet that header into the far corner. I'm sure someone will raise it in the comments. No man. There's a man on the near post, although is he just in the zone? No man on the far post. And look at that big gap for Maguire to head that one into 1-1. But they're not going to go on and get the victory. And I was really pleased to see this, because this is like the old Sheffield United. Okay, it's not the overlapping centre-back, but how many times coming up under Chris Wilder had we seen that position? Where right high up, 3 Sheffield United players, often it was a wing-back, an overlapping centre-back famously, and sort of a central midfielder, making that 3-man overload. And what Sheffield United did so well was they always seemed to play one more pass than you expected them to do. Whereas a lot of teams would find the space, get the ball early into the box. Sheffield United would often hold on to it, one pass extra, and it would generally not go where you expected it to. So, for example, here, this one goes back to 16, which is Norwood, isn't it? And then you think, okay, clip it into the back post where I think, is that McGoldrick and Brewster there? No, he plays it to Lundstrom. Lundstrom is then going to roll it along the floor into Burke. And I don't know, it just looked like the old snap to the passing that they used to have. In it goes to Burke. And again, we're going to bring up deflections here, because Burke's going to hit the shot. It's going to take the deflection. Is that Tuanzebe? And deflections aren't always good luck, because a bit of counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So pretty much the entire Manchester United team, apart from one player who's in that picture, and all but one of those, so 9 of them in the penalty box. And you can see Sheffield United, by keeping that ball, the extra pass or the extra 2 passes, have forced Manchester United into an utterly narrow, deep, horrible shape. Tuanzebe is in a horrible position there. Basically, De Gea stands much more chance of saving it. Stick Tuanzebe on the halfway line and it's a better position there, because he's just in no man's land, isn't he? He's not with a man. But this is not just good luck. It's worked, and they've dropped Manchester United into narrow, deep, and not great position for Tuanzebe. Should he maybe come out and take a step forward and try and close that? He kind of is so worried about the handball there. But when we talk about lucky deflections, okay, if a team has 85% possession, the other team comes up the pitch for the first time in 20 minutes, hits a speculative shot from 30 yards with nobody else forward, it hits the one defender who's well positioned, flies in the opposite corner. Yes, that's a lucky deflection. Whereas this one, they've kind of worked the position, haven't they? So it's not always just down to good luck. However, I think De Gea is saving this if it doesn't hit Tuanzebe on the left thigh and fly in off the underside of the bar. Who cares if you're a Blades fan? 2-1. And there is one more close call. That is Tellez, who's hit that from way out, takes a deflection, just clips the top of the crossbar on the way over. And the Blades hold out for a famous win. Queue up loads of statistics about not winning at Old Trafford for 50 years or whatever it is for Sheffield United. But let's talk in the, short and very short term in comparison with, going back decades. there are the numbers there. 75% possession, Manchester United. 16 shots to 5. Only 4 shots to 3 on target. So they hung in there, didn't they? 7 corners to 2. Revealing, though, of the 16 shots, like I say, 4 on target, only the one big chance. And that was the one big chance missed. I suspect that is Greenwood's chance, isn't it? And despite that 803 passes and the no big chances for Sheffield United, I guess pressure on Brian for the header, despite him being about a yard out. The Blades come away with the win. They made those moments count, and in a complete flip reverse of about seemingly like 20 of their other games this season, they were the ones that won the tight game via the deflection, not lost the tight game via the deflection. So swings and roundabouts, and a great win for Sheffield United. And now, don't come at me in the comments and say that I'm now predicting, well, whatever. We'll look at the table in a minute. But we've said about Sheffield United for a while, they need a complete turn on its head of form. And we also said, would the FA Cup be a help? If you look now, you've got a 10-match sample size there on the right. The first 5 games, lose, draw, lose, lose, lose. So 1 point out of 15 in the Premier League. The next 5, albeit, big caveats here, with 2 games against lower division, League One indeed, opposition, in Plymouth and Bristol Rovers, games which they did only win by 1 goal. They have now got 4 wins in 5. They've beaten Newcastle. There's tons of caveats in this, who did have 10 men. But no caveats in this one. They've gone away to Manchester United, for goodness sake, and won. Obviously, the elephant in the room is the Tottenham game, where it was a more typical Sheffield United 2020-21 performance, where they haplessly handed possession to Tottenham twice for a quick turnover goal, and they conceded straight from a set play. But hey, they scored straight from a set play today. So the yin and the yang indeed. But what I'm saying is, whatever happens to Sheffield United, if they get relegated by 10 points, they get relegated by 5 points, they get relegated on goal difference, or they pull off the most miraculous survival, this is not a bad thing, what's happening now. 4 wins in 5, a few players coming back from injury, a bit more confidence coming in. And whilst they may have left themselves way too much to do, at least there's something to go on going forward, because you never know, they might, even if they come into just reasonable Premier League form, 1.2, 1.3 points per game over the rest of the season, and they still ultimately fall short because of the horrible, horrible season they've had so far. Well, that can be building for next season. And those people who were saying, well, look, even though Chris Wilder's done miraculous feats to get them there, you can't countenance just this level of defeats week on week on week. So it's great. Obviously, look at the next game. Manchester City away, fine, whatever. Look at the next one after that. West Brom at home. I'm pretty sure if you said to most Sheffield United fans, you're going to lose 6-0 at Manchester City, but you will beat West Brom 1-0, and all your players, none of your players will get injured in the next 2 games, I bet they'd take the 6-0. I bet they would for the 3 points across those 2 games, and to keep some kind of semblance of an upward trend. Obviously, it's not hard for them to have an upward trend at the moment. They've been so bad. But look at it. They were 0 wins in 17. Now they're 2 wins in 20. And here's the big thing. If they were to beat West Brom, and there's a big caveat to this one as well, because West Brom's next game's against Fulham. So if Fulham were to beat West Brom, and then Sheffield United were to beat West Brom, it would be horrible for West Brom, wouldn't it? But Sheffield United would come off the bottom. Yes, there is a big gap of 5 points between Fulham and Brighton. We'll talk about that because they played each other last night in the archetypal unhelpful draw. More helpful for Brighton. But Sheffield United just want to get into a position where they're not abject last. That's their first goal. and then they can move forward, accordingly. They've played 20 games. They've got 8 points. If they can hit even just a point per game from the next, 10 games and land at 18 points from 30 games, maybe they'll be, Will they still be 10 points off safety? Who knows? They're miles back, but this is not doing them any harm at the moment. And if we extrapolate 2 games forward and they have lost to Manchester City and then they can get something against West Brom, you can start to build something. And stranger things have happened. Obviously, they're absolutely miles back, but this is not doing them any harm whatsoever, this run. And for God's sake, we talked about so many Sheffield United defeats this season. Let's enjoy this victory on the Blades fans' behalf. Manchester United will be very disappointed because had they won this game, they would have moved to 43 points from 20 games above rivals Manchester City at the top there. They are now a point back from their cross-town rivals. What was that song? Crosstown Traffic. Jimi Hendrix, yeah? So now there's a potential downside that they could be 4 points behind Manchester City, who are winning every week. Anyway, that's not the story. I know I'm one for banging on and projecting and whatever, but let's isolate this game and just say, if Sheffield United do go down and they are relegated and they are 10 points adrift like they are at the moment by the end, let's just isolate this moment and congratulate them on a great win at Old Trafford. Just a shame their fans couldn't be there to see it. What you gonna do? Thank you as ever to Jay Coyle, who's our fan sponsor for the Dearly Departed shows, also known as Ben Couldn't Bear to Lose Us. This midweek, I'm trying to do individual match reviews just to focus the Dearly Departed work. We're tuned in with the Leeds and Villa fans beautifully, but I think maybe I need to do a few weeks of focused match reviews just to pull in a few more Sheffield United, Fulham, West Brom fans as we go. So let me know what you think of the short change in strategy on the reviews. We'll keep the previews as a one video and all in one go. Let me know what you think about that. Always enjoy your feedback. It doesn't need to be blunt. Most of what's said on the internet is blunt, isn't it? Spare my poor sensitive soul, you lot. Anyway, if you're a Blades fan, just tell me how much you enjoyed that in the comments, because you damn well deserve it after a horrible season so far. With all of that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. And it's an over and out from me. Manchester United 1, Sheffield United 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.